I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Oh, you got me. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Oh, you got me. You know I want you, baby. I blame you for all the hurt and all the pain, all the sunshine and the rain. This feeling that I know you're giving me, no lies, you're loving me, hugging me, touching me. Da, 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 da. You're giving me, you're giving me. Da, 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 da. You're giving me, you're giving me. Step by step when you're moving in, when you come to the club and you're tuning in. Hold tight to your man 'cause I'm moving in. 4x4 with cruising in. Oh, you got me feeling good. Won't you come on, baby? Oh, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Oh, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Oh, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby.
Acting real nice. If you see us on the floor, you'll be watching all night. We ain't here to hurt nobody. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Wanna see you work your body. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Always in the party, everybody put up their hands. I get a half a mil for my beat, you get a couple bricks. Never gon' see the day that I ain't got the upper hand. I'm respected from California, I ain't way down to Japan. I'm a real producer and you just a piano man. Your songs don't top the charts, I heard them, I'm not a fan. Niggas talking greasy, I'm the one that gave them their chance. Somebody needs to tell them that they can't do it like I can.
Out my phone, but I really want you closer. Tell her I had to cut you off like I don't know her, 'cause it's over. Never thought that I would be here on my own. I had to delete all your pictures on my phone, but I really want you closer. Tell her I had to cut you off like I don't know her, 'cause it's over. Never thought that I still have you on my mind, so you got me thinking about you all the time. Yeah, I really want you closer. Till I had to cut you off like I don't know ya, 'cause it's over, over. Never thought that I would be on my own. I had to delete all your pictures on my phone, but I really want you closer. Till I had to cut you off like I don't know ya, 'cause it's over. Never thought that I still have you on my mind, so you got me thinking about you all the time. Yeah, I really want you closer. Till I had to cut you off like I don't know ya. New me, who she? Got the baseline kicking like we Bruce Lee. Plus a new thing chatting about she wanna do me, but I had to swerve that 'cause I just wanna do me. I got a level up, always moving and I never stop. See me kiss the trophy, pick the medal up. Always getting better luck, I don't need no better luck. 'Cause I'm gone now, back to direction that I'll never look. Never thought that I would be on my own. I had to delete all your pictures on my phone, but I really want you closer. Till I had to cut you off like I don't know ya, 'cause it's over. Never thought that I still have you on my mind, so you got me thinking about you all the time. Yeah, I really want you closer. Till I had to cut you off like I don't know ya, 'cause it's over.
She's the baddest of them all.
mall. Do you wanna dance, baby? I know you see me looking at you on a daily. Ooh, I'm in a trance lately. I need something to wake me up, something to faze me. Do you wanna dance, baby? I know you see me looking at you on a daily. Ooh, I'm in a trance lately. I need something to wake me up, something to faze me. She's the baddest of them all. The baddest of them all. She's the baddest of them all. The baddest of them all. She's the baddest of them all. The baddest of them all. She's the baddest of them all. The baddest of them all. Do you wanna dance, baby? I know you see me looking at you on a daily. Ooh, I'm in a trance lately. I need something to wake me up, something to faze me. Do you wanna kiss, baby? I know I see you looking at me on a daily. Ooh, I feel my knees are shaky. Everything you do is just seems to amaze me. I need something to faze me. I need something to faze me. Are you that one, baby? 'Cause you really amaze me. You wanna dance, baby? I know you see me looking at you on a daily. Ooh, I'm in a trance lately. I need something to wake me up, something to faze me. Do you wanna kiss, baby? I know I see you looking at me on a daily. Ooh, I feel my knees are shaky. Everything you do is just seems to amaze me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Extinguished Motorsports. Nearly said CPG then, because Wolfie just comes in the chat and subscribes with another Tier 1, 13 months on the trot. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, mate. Welcome in. Welcome to everybody tonight then, as we are here for Extinguished Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, on the Wednesday evening as usual. And we find ourselves here in Saudi Arabia, where probably if we were here in real life, we wouldn't be too safe. But of course, on the video game, we should be all good. 11 drivers joining us for tonight's evening of racing, and we start with a short qualifying session, then swiftly moving into a 50% race. And then, of course, at the end, we do some quick interviews. Wolfie's giveaway, the next person to follow gets a gifted sub for the month. Well, you've heard it here first, and it has to be a first-time follow as well. So next person to follow, if you're not following already, you're going to get a sub from Wolfie Plays. Make sure you go ahead and do that, and he'll send you one over. But I appreciate that, Wolfie. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. As Leeboy QAV is going to be starting his lap, and today I've got a lot of data on my screen that I can see. I've managed to get some sort of software that tells me, you know, a lot of data of the drivers, which is absolutely superb, and it's going to help me a lot with the commentary in more of the, you know, the technical side. As I can see Libor at the moment then, 3% wear on these soft tyres, and he has invalidated on this go around. As before we start really quickly, I am going to quickly send out some Twitch invite links, well, Twitch links to some Discords to let everybody know Wolfie is gifting a sub to the next follower. Right, we're getting some Twitch links sent out now, which is good. Hopefully we can get some more people in the stream. But yes, tonight then, ladies and gentlemen, is the... Oh, I've just added everybody. This is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And I've got to say, what a track it is to come here and race on. We've got a 50% race after this, and 12 minutes, about 13 minutes actually, of your qualification left. Temperature in the air currently 21 degrees here, and of course it is very late in the evening, so still pretty hot for evening weather. As Pepe's then in the pit lane, he's set a 1 minute 28.388 and kickstarts his time off pretty nice. As we get, I believe that is Westwood, joins us in the Twitch with a follow, which means, I believe, Wolfie Plays, if he sticks with his word, will be gifting him a sub. We'll find out if Wolfie sticks with his word, but he usually does. So Westwood might have a sub coming his way. What's his username? I will... Hang on. I believe that's the username. As Owen's second place then, ladies and gentlemen, for Racing Bulls. And if you're just joining us for Extinguished Motorsports, this is a realistic performance league, meaning the cars are, you know, realistic as they would be in real life. They're not equal as we usually do in online league racing. They are the realistic performance, meaning somebody in a Haas may be quite a bit slower than somebody, let's say, who can I point out on here, to be fair, quite slow cars actually. I don't think we've got... when the Williams are getting quicker, aren't they? The Alpine's probably some of the worst. The Kick Sauber is the worst car. Westwood, what's the VRL Twitch username? Give it to Wolfie and he'll give them a sub. But Perceivable then, everybody, he's down in P10, 1 minute 31.830, and the Alpine driver at the back of the grid. Of course, Alpine, one of the slower cars in Formula One, and struggled in previous seasons. And in the realistic performance, they are going to be, you know, not too good at all. Pepe, so at the minute, your quickest driver in the Haas car, and he's on outlap as well, as he will be going round very soon to hopefully try and improve on that lap. But he's massively quicker than Owen, the man behind, at this moment in time, and the gap between is about 0.8 of a second, which is absolutely huge for a P1 and 2 in qualifying. But that is soon to shape up. And Wolfie has gifted a sub to the Viking Racing League. As Wolfie strikes again, the most subs gifted in Jack Cross the Com. 16 goes to Wolfie Plays, as he also has gifted the most amount of subs, what they call bits as well. Mental amount of bits. Is yellow flag sent in the middle sector, and I think it's a kick Sauber of Don Pedrito heading slowly. Actually, he's heading around his outlap, but there's a Haas heading slowly in that middle sector. We have 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go then. And the man to watch at the minute is most likely Pepe's, because he is beating the rest of them by a huge, huge mile. And at the minute, he might just even improve again. He's soon to start another lap, and this is definitely something you don't want to miss. 0.8 of a second over second place, nearly 0.9 of a second is the gap. It's incredible to see, but can he extend that even further is the question we are faced with. Still 8 minutes to go. Have you heard that maybe replacing Saudi in Bahrain? I have, yeah. Going to be cool to see what actually happens in the end of it. Pepe's over the line. Here we go then, ladies and gents. This is one to watch. 1 minute 28.388 then on his quickest time. And he's going to try again. He's got 4.2 on the fuel, meaning that he's going to be absolutely fine for this lap. Potentially overfueled a little bit here. But he's going around for possibly multiple runs, is his thoughts, or he's just going to go straight into the pit lane after this one. We'll see what the level of lap this is, though, first of all. As the Haas driver making his way down towards the end of the first sector, and he's down by 0.5 tenth in Sector 1 over his previous fastest lap. Now into the middle sector, where he has to get it absolutely right now, ladies and gents. This cannot be any mistakes for him. He has to completely lock himself in to the mindset of no mistakes, and the walls keep coming at you rapidly around here in Saudi Arabia, but no match for Pepe. He's into the end of the second sector. Is he going to make any time up? He is up by 0.03 of a second then overall on lap time, as we can see in that middle sector. He is up a little bit, and it could be a bit of an improvement here. He's gone purple middle sector. It's not looking too bad. He has lost a bit of time, but up towards the line then. Can Pepe's improve again? I'm not too sure if he can. He absolutely can. 0.2 of a second found, and Pepe's then is on pole position once again with a 1:28.163, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant time from the Haas driver as he improves quite nicely. A whole second quicker than Don Pedrito. What is going on here? What is going on? 6 minutes remaining, and we have a driver an entire second quicker for pole. This is going to be an incredible showdown. Don Pedrito not able to get any closer at the moment and will be in the pit lane next lap. Same with Owen. Leeboy QAV with a good qualifying so far. He's qualifying P4 in the Aston Martin. There's not a lot between him and the man in front. There's a whole second pretty much on the dot between him and P1. As he crosses the line, does Leeboy. And I believe this is a lap then for the P4 driver at the minute. He's in the Aston Martin tonight, of course. Race number 9 that he's flying on that beautiful car under these lights. And I've got to say, the lights do make the car look a lot nicer. He has backed off, and this is not a lap for him. Static Lazy, up by 0.4 of a second. A new driver here in Extinguished. We've not seen this man before, but not looking at the too bad at the minute. I can't see his data. He's in P8 at the moment, though, and DRS is activated as he does improve by nearly 0.4 in the first sector. Then he's found an extra 0.03 of a second in the second sector. And now up towards the line, it's going to be Static Lazy, 4th place. Not bad at all, ladies and gentlemen. And Jack still struggles to commentate on it. What are you talking about? Is that a dig at me? What's going on here? Thank you very much for the follow, mates. I appreciate that very much. We're qualifying soon to round down, and there's 4 minutes remaining then of this session, ladies and gents. 11 drivers joining us for Extinguished Motorsports with 21 degrees air temperature, and the drivers handling this track pretty well at this moment in time. We've had somebody follow. I've just seen in the chat he said done, but unfortunately, mate, if you're in here now, you're a bit late to the party. Westwood got here a bit before and managed to claim that sub, unfortunately. But Wolfie did give it out, and we had a sub tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. As we are back on the mic for Extinguished Motorsports on the stream once again. It's live 5 times a week, which is it's a lot. It is an absolute crazy amount. As Passy then up towards the final corner. What has he got in store for us then? Passy, he makes his way up towards the line from P6 at the minute in the kick Sauber, and he's found 600ths in the first sector, down by 10th in the second over the line. He is up by 6,000ths overall on that lap, but it's just not really enough to gain any places. Static Lazy in the pit lane, and now the only driver on the track ready for a lap soon is going to be Davey in the Williams this evening. As Davey, the Dutchman, down in P9, and he makes his way around with 1 minute 30.694, and some improvements to be made if he wants to be any higher than this. So we'll find out if he's got anything left in the tank. I've got to say, a nice livery on that Williams. I don't know if I've seen that before. Really nice. Very nice indeed. CPG SGM Motorsports, Monaco, last man standing. That is the only way to make Monaco exciting. I'll tell you that. It really is. In the commentary box, Monaco is hell. Absolute hell. A bad track to commentate, I'll tell you. But a track like this can sometimes be quite exciting. 27 corners, ladies and gentlemen, around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Still paid you for it for 2 seasons. Oh, mate. Monaco is bad, though, you got to admit. Even racing it, surely it cannot be that good. You know, but it is what it is. There's a lot better tracks, in my opinion. This track isn't too bad. The walls keep coming at you. Normally, I'd say in real life, and, you know, even in this, the qualifying is normally more exciting than you know, the race, because the cars are running at full pelt around the walls. It's incredible to see. But we're running down the time now. Then there's 1 minute and 30 seconds to go of quali. We've got many drivers on their outlaps. Leeboy QAV for his final time of the day, and he in the Aston Martin currently. Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's gone a lap, but he's messed this one up. Then he's looking like he's possibly going to try and get round to the line now. Then and maybe just about make it for one final running. He's going to absolutely push the car now to its limits to make it to the line. We're going to go to Passy's invalidated. Davey is on that lap we talked about, and he's in P9. I think he must have invalidated. He did, yeah, he did invalidate on that lap. Peppies is out there again to try and make an improvement. Dom Pedrito out there too, and in the first sector then Dom Pedrito trying to make an improvement in sector 1, and he is up by 700ths of a second is the kick Sauber. Running it close to the outside wall there then. And the first sector not too shabby at all for the Sauber as he continues on this lap and all the way down towards the end of sector 2. The corners just keep coming at you then here in Jeddah, and Dom Pedrito making a brilliant show of it today. Good first sector. Could the second be even better? It isn't even better, but he is up a little bit on time. He's only up by a small amount, but at this moment in time, He's still up, and that is what matters. Qualifying very soon to conclude. Don Pedrito round the final corner and towards the line for the kick Sauber. What has he got in store for us today then? He's currently sat in P3 but wants a bit more time than that. A 1:29.1 to beat, and he doesn't improve. 200ths of a second down, and that is the end of his qualifying session. There's a Haas car then of Pepe's, who up towards the line now is not going to make a good lap, unfortunately for him. We're going to wait for... There's Davey, who has invalidated, so we can't go on to him. Stray Dog Racing. Here he comes then, up towards the line in P11. Back of the grid then. He's not found any time this lap at the minute over the line, but he has found now half a second in the final sector. And the Williams does improve. Percival as well now trying to come and improve. And we'll see if he can make any great improvements. Very low on the fuel and over the line. He does improve by 0.3 of a second. Leeboy QAV has invalidated a Static Lazy towards the line on his final time of the day. P4 with a 200th of a second improvement. But that is the end of qualifying for every driver here today. And Pepe's, ladies and gentlemen, with, you've got to admit, an absolutely sensational qualifying session. He is on pole position ahead of Owen. Wow, huge gap, absolutely brilliant. Here's your finishing results then, ladies and gentlemen, here in Saudi Arabia for qualifying. It is Pepe's on pole by 0.8 of a second over Owen. Don Pedrito lines up 3, joined by Static Lazy, the Dutchman, joining us here tonight in 4. Leeboy QAV then in 5 with a great qualifying, lined up with Passy in 6. Speed Freak P7, 8 is Andrew Pittsmith, 9 is Percival, and 10 is Davey. 11 Stray Dog, and that rounds off your grid. Next up is the Grand Prix, and we'll be with you for that very, very shortly. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, on the grid here in Jeddah, where we start the formation lap for tonight's Grand Prix. Isn't it good to be back then for Extinguished? This is it, the main event that you've all been waiting for, the 50% race then, ladies and gents, which is being held here near the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. And an absolutely brilliant track that it is. 11 drivers joining us for this event tonight, and every single driver on the grid today starting on the medium compound of tyres. So everybody going for the same strategy call today, which makes it quite interesting. With all on the mediums, they're all going to be pretty equal. I'm seeing some different fuel levels from the drivers. There's a few that have not decided to remove any fuel. There's a few that have gone quite low on the fuel, and this is going to be the difference then between the winners and the losers tonight, with 25 laps of racing ahead of us. The track here pretty long, to be fair, and that is why we have 25 laps of racing around here. But Peppies will be the man to lead them away in the Haas car, and he's had a lovely qualifying session. He just has to piece it together now for the Grand Prix, and can he do it? He's going to find out. We're all going to find out in a few moments' time when they line up on the grid, and the 5 lights will go out. Race strategies on your screen then as well. The 2-stop and the 3-stop is the optimal strategies. We're looking like the 2-stop strategy on there to be used, of course, because the softs are not being started on by anybody. But here come the drivers to line up on the grid. Here we go then. The main event. There's Pepe's one, and they all slot into their grid slots. Do they all line up properly? Oh, Owen doesn't. Owen does not line up the way he should have, and gets bounced back a little bit. You see the Alpine there, just about parking up nicely. Is Speed Freak, and we watch from the front of the grid then, ladies and gentlemen, here in Jeddah, for yet again another spectacular event hosted by Extinguished Motorsports. 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go, and Pepe's off the line pretty well indeed, and he does get a good jump on the rest of the drivers into turn 1. He still leads through the first corner. Don Pedrito is now having a bit of a battle with Owen behind that, who is making his way through on the back side of him, forcing the kick Sauber then into this left-hand side, but no move made for him at the moment. A pretty clean start for the drivers here in Extinguished, and as they all make their way through pretty cleanly. A bit of contact there on the back side of Speed Freak from Passy as they make their way through the flying left to right-hand side section in the first sector. Davey has had a bit of a stinker at the start, and he's all the way down at the back then in P11. No visible wing damage there on the car for him at the moment, but he's had a bit of a stinker, unfortunately. Now down at the back of the grid on lap 1 of 25. Pepe sets the fastest first sector then at the minute, as he is absolutely flying at this moment in time. Don Pedrito in 2, already dropped by 1.1 seconds over the race leader and losing this on the first lap. Owen, 3rd place then. Static Lazy is not too far behind that as well. And do not count this Aston Martin out, because he's got a lot of pace tonight. I think it's going to be used quite wisely if he carries on with this kind of pace, because this is beautiful to watch. And a new driver here in Extinguished Motorsports. And look at the pressure that he's mounting on the backside of Owen. Already a move up the inside line. He's going for it. He is absolutely going for it round the outside line. It's the Aston Martin. Static Lazy on his first time here tonight. Round the outside line, and he's made it up to P3. What a move for Static. Now on the podium places. He can breathe. There's lap 12 to 13 then is the optimal stop for the hard compound tyres for the drivers if you're attempting the one stop. Owen up the inside line here, then the Racing Bull trying to make a move on the Aston Martin, having to back out then as quick as he could there to avoid any collisions. He's going to wait for his turn and regain what was once and originally his tonight. Gaps on your screen then, where Owen has been down for 2 places since the start, unfortunately. We did see at the start that he got set back a little bit on his grip box, and that might explain why he had a bit of a bad start, which is a bit of a shame. You know, it really, really is. Maybe he would have had a better start if he just had that better jump. But here comes an Aston Martin then of Static Lazy, who, to be fair, is actually gaining on Don Pedrito. And the man who makes his debut tonight in Extinguished is now fighting his way through the pack in an absolutely brilliant start for him, as he's not stopping at all for anyone or anything. We're going to see what he can produce from tonight's race, but already strong signs of good, of good work, and this is looking brilliant for him. Only 4/10 of a second behind Dom Pedrito as we lose our first driver of the day, and is the Dutchman then of Davy, who is out of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix on only the second lap of the race. Pepe still leads by 1.6 seconds then. Dom Pedrito is just behind that in 2. Static Lazy third, then Owen in 4. Speed Freak 5, Leeboy QAVP 6 as they all head into the final corner, and now flying towards the line. Brilliant cornering from all of them, and they're all keeping it really clean today. You've got to give it to them, to be fair. And fastest laps coming in for Speed Freak as they go 2 by 2 down in towards turn 1. Nobody knows which way to go. It's Owen just sticking behind Static Lazy at the minute, who's just made a bit of contact now on the backside of Dom Pedrito, which maybe got him a bit of wing damage. We're going to check the front wing when we get the next opportunity to do so. But, we can't actually see the front wing right now. We'll check it when we can. 3 laps in of 25, and a bad exit there for Dom Pedrito as well as Static Lazy, but he has to move out of the way of him there. As we look behind, and it is Speed Freak up the inside line. Speed Freak into P4, depositing Owen down into P5. And now he loses yet again another place. 3 places down since the start. Passy and Andrew Pittsmith then having a bit of a battle behind in P8 and 7. And here is Leeboy QAV, who's lost a place on lap 1. And 9/10 of a second is the gap. He activates his DRS now to try and gain on the guys in front, but Owen is just he's too good at keeping behind this pack in front of him, which is dragging him along. But if it carries on going like this, it is definitely looking like a clear take from Pepe. So he did just surpass 3 seconds ahead of Dom Pedrito, and to do that in 3 laps is incredible. Static Lazy up the inside line and not playing the DRS game then, as Dom Pedrito will now be taking the dose of DRS, and that has helped him massively. We're going to go 2 by 2, now 3 abreast and nearly 4 abreast into turn 1. Brilliant overtaking from the drivers as Speed Freak. 5 places gained from the start, and he's now 2nd place in tonight's Grand Prix. Dom Pedrito running in 3rd on the podium at the moment then, but he's got Owen behind him, and he's definitely not safe at the minute, as now his rears fall from underneath him as he tries to keep it clean and tidy, but very nearly spinning around there and catching the Sauber in a slide, as Owen's going to be right on the rears of him now, the same as Static Lazy, who is there as well. But I've got to say, what a brilliant start as Leeboy QAV does pick up his first penalty. And you know what? I am surprised to see that. Leeboy normally is an incredibly clean driver with time penalties. Today, picking up a penalty this early on, it's not like him at all. It really isn't. I know that man. And he never normally gets, penalties this early on. He never normally gets any, to be fair to him. He's very good with that. And Static Lazy still on the backside of Owen. Straydog now picking up his first penalty of the evening in the Williams then, as we head through the left-hander and making our way down and towards the final few corners of the final sector. We've got a move coming in here then. Owen looking to make a move on Dom Pedrito when he can. Is Dom Pedrito going to play the DRS game, or is he just going to go for it early? He looks for the inside line, makes contact on the Alpine. He goes up the inside. Who will take the DRS here then? The Alpine's still with the jump round the outside. I think it's the Kick Sauber with the dose of DRS to help him now, and that has actually worked pretty well for him. All the way down in towards turn 1. Will it be enough for an overtake? Also now Owen with the DRS too. The Kick Sauber goes to the outside line. Not enough for an overtake. And that'll be the end of that battle for him at the minute. Lap 5 of 25. 5 laps in, 20 laps to go. And if you're enjoying in the chat so far, hopefully you are, make sure you send us a follow over if you haven't already to get notified when we go live. It will be every single night of the week, around 8 PM time usually, that we go live in the week. And you get to witness some good racing like this. For saying there's only 10 drivers, some good battles going on here in Extinguished today. And this is exactly what we want to see. This track promotes the good racing too. And Owen keeping on good, good behaviour here. Not trying to make any premature moves, but he's also keeping a good gap to Dom Pedrito. Static Lazy's right on the rears as well. as the drivers head round into the final sector of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Well off the track there goes Owen as we get a follow there. Thank you very much indeed for Davey, as he of course did retire, but thanks for the follow, Matt. I appreciate you joining us tonight. Welcome in to the chat. Static Lazy gaining then on Owen down in towards the final corner, and now we head up towards the line with the drivers. An incredible start now onto the 6th lap of the race, and Peppies is leading massively by 5 seconds over second place for Speed Freak. Then it's Don Pedrito in third, then it's Owen in fourth, then it's Static Lazy getting an overtake here from his teammate of Leeboy QAV. Brakes a bit earlier as he nearly makes contact there with the racing ball and cuts across the track. Very lucky not to make any bad collisions there with anybody and take anyone out of the race. But Leeboy QAV makes the move stick anyway. Does lose a bit of time to the guys in front due to that, but he has now got ahead of his teammate, which for him is the most important thing. As we have Peppies, like I mentioned, still in front, and lap by lap he just keeps extending that gap, you know, just marginally extending it. But it is beautiful to see because the consistency that he's laying down tonight is incredible. It's the back of the grid then is Stray Dog, who is seeming to struggle tonight. 5.7 seconds off the pace, but the perseverance from this man is probably the best in the racing league. I've got to admit, he's very good with the perseverance, and no matter the result, he carries on and never ever backs down, which is what we love to see. Brilliant spirit in Stray Dog. As the drivers make their way down then, oh, that was close for Static Lazy. Now looking for a move on his teammates again. Leeboy QAV did make a move earlier on. Now he's going to pay the price. Static Lazy around the outside line. Who's going to get the DRS here? Then they're both kind of leveling towards the left-hand side. Leeboy, I believe, will be the man with the DRS coming out of here. Then we'll find out which Aston Martin it was. Here we go then. All the way up towards the line. It's going to be Static Lazy on the backside of Leeboy and Andrew Pittsmith too. Both of them going for a move. It's a double overtake down in towards turn 1 very nearly. The Haas car of AP is now into P5. The two Aston Martins still squabbling behind, but it's the Haas car who has come out on top of that one. And into P5 he goes then. Brilliant stuff for him. Passy in P10. He's in the pit lane now then. In the Kick Sauber coming out. Does Passy at the back of the grid. And he is on the brand new medium compound. So 2-stop strategy that he's aiming for today. Well, 7 laps in at 25, and Pepes is making a mockery of the rest of the drivers. Look at this man fly, and he's gained 7/10 of a second then nearly in the space of a few laps. And now he is 5.6 ahead of Speed Freak as the drivers across the line. And it is Pepes now starting the 8th lap of the Grand Prix and making the laps tick by very nicely indeed because of the speed he's putting in tonight. Speed Freak then across the line now sets second place still. Owen over the line now into the podium places, overtaking Don Pedrito. Makes a great move there, really diving it into the first corner. And the Kick Sauber trying to fight back here, but just not enough ground to make up on him to get through. But he does look for the inside line, not enough there though. Andrew Pittsmith getting very much caught on the curb there, which isn't what he wants to be doing at all. Owen with a 3-second time penalty. As here's Static Lazy on his teammate again. The two Aston Martins are having a beautiful battle all race long at the minute as they're really pushing each other through the paces. And it is Static Lazy right on the backside now. Bit of contact on the rear of Leeboy, keeping control quite well. Oh, hits the wall there. Does the Aston Martin of Leeboy. As we watch Static Lazy still fighting on the backside, and it's aggravating him now that he just cannot make his way through. No moves is happening, but I'm sure as we head down in towards the final corner in a moment's time, that is where it's going to start to ramp up another level. This is where the DRS will be activated now, and round the outside line goes Static Lazy, gifting Leeboy the DRS then once they get onto the main straight. If he gets a good exit, oh, bit of wing there. Someone lost a bit of wing. A bit of wing on the circuit. There's Leeboy with a decent exit, and now with the help of DRS, he will be able to pass him again. Into the pit lane then goes Andrew Pittsmith, and Owen retires from the session. Where's he retired? Is that turn 1 or is that in the pit lane? I think it was in the pit lane. Did Owen retire, as he is out now of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. That is such a shame, because that man was on podium places, and look where Leeboy QAV is now. He's in podium places. We have had some pit stops though, and that explains why he's there. But nevertheless, he is in the podium places, doing what he can to fight. Oh, a bit of contact on the wall there for Leeboy. He's one of the only drivers in this race tonight with a penalty. There's 3 that had them, now 2 because 1 retired. And speak of the devil, Stray Dog with a penalty again, picking up another one. Here's Static then on the backside of his teammate. Like I mentioned, the Aston Martins are going crazy tonight, giving each other so much hard work on the same team, but battling it out then to see which one is the best driver. And Static now gaining on his teammate once again, and he's falling for the same trick. He's falling for the exact same trick in the book every single time, because now Leeboy will pick up that DRS once again round the final corner. Leeboy just has to get a good exit here, and he'll be able to get back past. Not as good as the man in front, but it's still going to be enough here. It's into the... Oh, that was a bit close, wasn't it? Leeboy with a penalty because of that. Static Lazy now in the pits. Leeboy carries on and claims second place in the Grand Prix tonight with a 6-second time penalty to his name. And Speed Freak, your leader at the minute with 10-second gap. Oh, Leeboy into the barrier. Leeboy into the wall. As we wait for the remaining pit stops then, and we've had a few so far, but Speed Freak and Leeboy, the 2 drivers yet to do so. Leeboy clearly struggling here with no wing, and he will have to make a pit stop very soon. Oh, he's right on the backside of Andrew Pittsmith here as well, and that is going to be a big issue for Leeboy in the way of those drivers there. Stom Pedrito does get ahead. Andrew Pittsmith gets ahead as well, but leaves Leeboy in the dust as he's really struggling and hits the barrier once again. And he is going to bring a safety car out without a doubt. Now more drivers on the rear side of him, losing all these places. It's gone so downhill for Leeboy as his teammate now waves goodbye to him on new tyres. And the race is all of a sudden come crashing down to an end then for Leeboy QAV. His lap 11 begins. Static Lays on the backside of Perceivable here. Round the outside line, contact on the wall, but he's still through. And now he will lose the DRS then up towards the line here in Saudi. He's lost out many times in a row to his teammate because of this old trick, and now Perceivable's going to pull it off again. He doesn't get a great exit out of the final corner, but you can still see the closing speed here. Then the DRS will be activated for the extra bit of speed. And now, here comes the move we've all been waiting for. Perceivable through past the Aston Martin, and he's into P6 this evening. All of them made a pit stop now. Oh, they're still battling. They're still battling Static Lazy. Contact there, but he does drop back, and it is Perceivable who gets in front of that then. Lap 11 of 25, and Leeboy QAV retires from the session in the pit lane to end the race off tonight. Still no safety cars then that we have had at the moment, and it hasn't been too bad at all for tonight's Grand Prix. If you're in the chat, hopefully you're enjoying, ladies and gentlemen. It's been quite a nice, smooth race at the moment. It really, really has. As of course, after this race, we do have your post-race interviews of the top 3. And it is going to start to be quite apparent of who we're going to be speaking to soon. It really is. Speed Freak has not made a pit stop, and he's the only driver yet to do it. I feel like blowing you a kiss, Drew. Oh my. No worries, all good. Well, Speed Freak as your leader, but now in the pit lane, and Pepe's regains what was his from the start. And this house driver, it's been a faultless drive. We're halfway through the Grand Prix now then. Or pretty much halfway through the Grand Prix in the buffer zone, as you'd call it. And Pepe's, the crazy, crazy domination from him is just unheard of around the streets of Jeddah. Passy in second place, and Don Pedrito third, and the two kick Sauers have made a really good comeback today. Andrew Pittsmith then is running in fourth, and AP might just get himself into the podium places. He has driven well today and started P8 this evening. Look at the comeback he's made. He might even be on the podium. Speed Freak, though, might be there to spoil the party, and this is the thing. You know, you cannot get too comfortable in Formula One because there's always going to be somebody knocking on the door, and that man to AP is Speed Freak tonight, who's gaining on him. Fastest lap today then held by Speed Freak with 1 minute 32.646. And he, like I mentioned, is gaining on the guys in front. He's on the brand new hard compound tyres, and they are 3% as opposed to Andrew Pittsmith's 19% mediums, which isn't too bad, you know, and they are still going to be good mediums, but in due course they will drop off massively. Here comes Speed Freak then, around the outside line possibly, but he's waiting back. He knows the trick. He knows he's getting the DRS out of here, and that is exactly how you should play the game. Here we go then, the DRS will be activated as well as the Haas car as well, and they're both fighting for a bit of clean air now to overtake on Don Pedrito. Speed Freak's through past one driver, now he's got another one to check off before he's complete tonight. And getting around the outside line, he sees a gap and he makes it worthwhile. Through goes Speed Freak as he now gets into the podium places. He is absolutely flying this evening. And the Alpine looking like we might get him in the interview room tonight because a brilliant, brilliant race from him so far. Same with Pepe's and Passy. But this is looking good, isn't it? Andrew Pittsmith still on the backside of Don Pedrito, and they've not really left each other alone since the pit stops. On lap 13 of 25 then, are we going to see an overtake with the Haas car? He will get a dose of DRS down here, then he'll get another dose of DRS down the back straight, and then it'll be down the main straight with the DRS. 3 DRS zones then here in the Jeddah Corniche circuit, and Andrew Pittsmith using them to his advantage today, gaining on Don Pedrito, but not enough at the minute for an overtake. Waiting as he'll pick it up now and following really closely and well then through the final corner. The static lazy in P6, ladies and gentlemen, gets ahead of Percival, makes a brilliant move, and the Aston Martin now ahead of the Alpine, but he's got 10 seconds to Andrew Pittsmith in front. Percival is giving his best go to fight back, but just not enough, you know, in him there to be able to do that. We are over half race distance now then, ladies and gentlemen, and 11 laps remaining before the end. A nice race we've had so far, and Pepe's is, you know, Pepe's is dominating well. 9.2 seconds his gap. We've got Don Pedrito with a 3-second time penalty at this moment in time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here comes Andrew Pittsmith found on the backside of Don Pedrito. We've seen this battle before, and we're going to see it again now. The Haas car going for his best now with a 10 lap remaining on your screen. And we get the DRS available for the Haas car. And finally, will it be an overtake on the kick Sauber? He makes it look very easy. The kick's a sitting duck. And Andrew Pittsmith is now into P4. 1 place away from the podium places. Can he make it count? Or is Speed Freak's hard compound just going to be much more, you know, beneficial around here? And are they going to work a lot better? We'll find out. Oh, big contact there for Speed Freak on the wall. You could hear it as well as he scraped it here in Jeddah. I don't think there's going to be any visible damage there, but might have took a bit of tyre wear. Here comes Speed Freak to try and make his overtake and claim second spot in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He is more than capable of doing so, and he's on the backside of Passy here. Then the kick Sauber. Here comes Speed Freak round the outside line, and he's done it into second place. A brilliant overtake as Passy now in the pit lane. Speed Freak goes to P2. And he's making up the order. Brilliant, isn't he? He really, really is. We are expecting another dose of pit stops, and Passy's in now to make it for his final hard tyres for the 9 remaining laps of the Grand Prix. And Percival doing the same thing. Percival in now in P7 in the race. Now P8 back of the grid. And he will be getting himself on some new hard compounds. Andrew Pittsmith then picks up a 3-second time penalty, and we've seen a few penalties today. We've got 3 for Andrew Pittsmith, 3 for Dom Pedrito, and 6 for Stray Dog Racing. As Pepes is in the pit lane now then, and the race leader with 10-second advantage over the guys behind makes a pit stop then, ladies and gentlemen, and now gets overtaken by Speed Freak, who maybe is going for the one-stop strategy here. He's on the hard compound. That is what we're expecting for him to be doing. Speed Freak on the 24% hards and can make these go to the end if he makes them, you know, not under too much load, if he can nurse them through it. Pepes comes out second place now then, and he is out on the new hard, so he will hold the advantage over Speed Freak, but has he got enough laps to gain 9.6 seconds and win the Grand Prix tonight? Or is Speed Freak doing him over with a better strategy call? But a lovely race tonight here in Extinguished Motorsports, and as you know, as usual, standard procedure after this Grand Prix, we'll have a quick top 3 driver interview for a post-race interview, and then after that I do make a race highlight reel and get it all posted out. Hopefully I won't be as late with it this time. I'm going to try and get it done as quick as I can and then get it posted. That is the plan. Schroeder racing then back of the grid now as he gets overtaken by Percival, who's down in P7, and Percival then on the fairly new hards. They're 9% wear, which isn't too bad, and he's making them work pretty well. Not been on them for too long of a period. As lap 18 to 25 then in a pit stop. Oh, sorry, not pit stop. It's Static Lazy who went off the track there. Oh! Big hit into the barrier there. I think that might have been Passy then, who might have made big contact with the wall. And I can't see any wing damage, but that sounded big. It might have been Static Lazy. I mean, he's got... No, it wasn't. It was definitely Passy there. You could definitely hear the clunking of the car against the barriers. There's a brilliant helicopter view, that is, of the Jeddah Corniche circuit then down into the turn 27. And Pepe's then with a 1 minute 32.398. And as he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And we're 6 laps away from the end one then, where Speed Freak is 7.7 seconds ahead of Pepe's, and he is bringing the gap down. And, he's just set a fastest lap as well, so he really is pushing. All of their laps, all of these laps are falling off, and their fuel is running out very, very quickly. The lowest fuel on the grid tonight is Pepe's, who has, 0.5 lower than Speed Freak here today, meaning you will be that tiny bit lighter, which won't really matter too much, but all the weight saving counts, doesn't it? And Pepe's, who's currently sat up in P2 with 6 laps remaining, is in hopes of gaining 6 seconds and making a pass on Speed Freak, or even banking on Speed Freak making a mistake here to help him fast track himself up towards P1 and take, what has been his for the majority of the Grand Prix. 2 different strategy calls from Speed Freak and Pepe's. Pepe's then opting for the 2-stop strategy. Speed Freak opting for the 1-stop. And this is where we see which one of them really works. Speed Freak is going to be your leader. He is your leader. And he came out with about 9 seconds advantage. But it's been brought down by Pepe's. And he might just be able to catch him before the end of the race to secure those big 25 points for your race win. Is it possible for him? I think it absolutely is. He's really, really reducing that gap, and it's already come down by about 4 tenths in the first sector now. Even more than that, 5.4, 5.3 is the gap. It is dropping massively, and we've just dropped below, 4 seconds. That was an incredible middle sector for Pepe Zen as he finds immense amounts of time. And it is definitely doable now. It is definitely doable now. If he keeps up with this pace, he is dropping off so much time on these corners. Speed Freak, I believe, he's 41% hards. He's struggling now. He really is struggling. The time is dropping off. 4.2. It is falling down. It is all coming crashing down now for Speed Freak, who is 1.3 seconds down in the first sector. Then he's 6 tenths down in the middle sector. Pepe's a little bit down, but he's he's clearly on much better pace at the minute than Speed Freak. Their tyres massively different in tyre ages, with Pepe's holding the advantage with only 5 laps remaining. Speed Freak as your leader, but the gap between 1 and 2 is dropping, and it's 4.2 now with only 5 laps remaining. That's less than a second to gain every single lap. Pepe's is more than capable of doing this, but don't forget he's still going to make the overtake when he gets there, which is going to be the hardest part really, depending on how Speed Freak is feeling and how wide he wants to make that Alpine, as the gap nearly 3 seconds. It is now below 3 seconds, and this first sector, is incredibly strong for Pepe's. Look at the time that he gains through here. You can tell Speed Freak on these hards, just with barely any grip at all to make his way through there, and that is where the time is dropping off. The rest of the lap isn't too bad. That first sector is crucial to get right for Speed Freak because he's got no grip. He has to make it right. Pepis has to get it right as well because that's his only really massive gaining point. This middle sector as well is pretty good, and he's bringing it down by a huge margin. We're definitely going to get an overtake here. 2.5 seconds the gap. Pepis now very nearly closing in on that 1 second range. Pepe's second place, 2.8 seconds. Watch out for the first sector then, as we only have a few laps to go, and that first sector is mental on the amount of time that he is able to pick up. Pepe's then was half a second quicker in the first sector on his previous lap, meaning he really is pushing this car now to its limits and putting it through its paces in that first sector, and you can already see it by the time that is being dropped. 2.2 now, nearly even below 2 seconds if it keeps going at this pace. It is below 2 seconds now, 1.8, and this is where it gets really exciting. Speed Freak is losing countless of time now, and Pepis is right on the rears of him. When he gets below that 1 second gap, DRS will be initiated, and straight away we're going to get an overtake in a battle. Just got to break that gap. Just got to break that DRS gap and that 1 second barrier to get us into DRS and bring Pepis in closer to Speed Freak. That is where he needs to be. That is what he's striving to get at the minute, and you can see the visual difference between them. There goes one, through goes the other. He's gaining very quickly, 1.6 seconds, and if I was Speed Freak, I would start to be very worried indeed, as his rival in Pepis is gaining rapidly. And in that first sector, he gains nearly over a second every lap. And over a second on the time he's got would mean he's within DRS range. This is the lap to make it happen for Pepis on the backside of Speed Freak. Andrew Pittsmith and Static Lazy as well have a bit of a battle. Andrew Pittsmith goes through to P4. Well, Speed Freak as your leader, but the gap now nearly below 1 second, 1.084 now, 1.2 seconds. It is fluctuating, and you can tell Speed Freak is turning on the burners. Pepis then with less ERS then over Speed Freak, but we are within the second now. We are within the second in time, and Pepis now will have that DRS if it keeps in. He gets the DRS now to bring him a bit closer, which is going to help him just slightly. But Speed Freak burning his battery and now down to 36% per Siebel with a time penalty. This is it now, ladies and gentlemen. Make or break for Pepis. We have 2 laps remaining when we cross the line now. And this is the chance. This is the final shot. Pepis with a 1.2 second gap. No DRS down the main straight here. But he has to make this count. 19% battery for Speed Freak. I think it's all over. I really do. It's not looking good. Speed Freak having to burn every last little bit he's got. And nearly 60% tyre wear on those hards. He seems to be struggling out there. Red they are showing as Pepis breaks very late into turn 1. Misses braking point. A lot of time lost there for him. Bit of a mistake. He's still trying to catch up. And we have the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. This is the crucial first sector that we keep talking about. He needs to get within that second here. Then it's absolutely doable. The gap is closing. The grip is way more, just higher for Pepis on these mediums, on these hards, sorry, the new hards, compared to Speed Freak's older ones. and we're just on the brink of a 1 second gap now. Now 8/10 of a second, but it keeps fluctuating to 9/10 to a second now. 8/10 now, 7/10 is the lowest we've seen. Now 6/10, and this is it. He's closed in on him. He has the slipstream, but he's messed up that corner quite big, and now loses a lot of time. He was within range, but messes it up, ladies and gentlemen. As here comes Pepe's for the first time today. He's going to go for the move. Will this be the move that decides the race win? They go side by side and into the final corner. Pepe's leads once again the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's Speed Freak now that will be picking up the DRS out of the exit, and this will give him the advantage down in towards turn 1. Pepe's might throw away his race win here if he keeps making moves like that. He needs to think about the DRS detection zone out of that final corner, and that'll aid him massively. Speed Freak into turn 1. Pepe's makes a dive up the inside and they make contact. Maybe a bit of wing damage there for the drivers. No visible wing damage on either of them, but Pepe's gets through to P1 and now leads on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Which driver is it going to be? I think it might be Pepe's. Speed Freak's tyres are completely shot. 64% now on the wear. 48% battery though, and he seems to be building it up. That might be his plan right now. Pepe's burning, Speed Freak burning as well down this back straight. Both of them using some, but Speed Freak still with the most, and he might just maybe be able to use that to his advantage. Are we going to get a photo finish to the line? We might just do. It is very possible here in Saudi Arabia, and it does happen every now and then, and I've had it a few times in commentary, but Speed Freak is losing so much time on this last lap, everybody. It just isn't looking doable for the Alpine anymore. It really, really isn't. Speed Freak in the Alpine loses time. He's now over the second gap, and all eyes to Pepe's in the Haas then, who has driven an absolutely phenomenal race, and taking the two-stop strategy worked by the skin of his teeth at the end. He took it right to the final lap to make the race-deciding move, and he's made it all work and count now, hasn't he? A beautiful exit out of the final corner, and he can now finally start to relax this evening because Pepe's is the winner of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Speed Freak over the line, comes home for a close second place, but an insane battle between two brilliant rivals here in Extinguished as they take 1 and 2. Passy finishes in P3. What a podium that is. What a great ending, ladies and gentlemen, to a brilliant race. And we are now going to get on to your post-race interviews after a very fun evening of racing, I have to admit. Well, what an ending, ladies and gentlemen. What an ending. Race winner then is going to be Pepe's fastest lap to him as well. Driver of the day, Speed Freak. Most overtakes Speed Freak, as well as him being the cleanest driver. As we're going to join the interview room and wait for somebody to join for the first interview of the night. Bear with me 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting for somebody to join the post-race interview room. Here he is. First interview of the day. Speed Freak, second place today. You okay with that? How you feel about that?
Good evening, Jack.
Good to see you, mate. Welcome back into the
Great
into
comms
the.
as always.
Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well,
Hello.
second place. Yeah,
The
give us your
one-stop.
thoughts.
I must be some sort of madman to try and do a one-stop around there.
It was a good battle towards the end, though. You got to agree.
No, yes, I was getting hunted down. It was like Mexico all over again. But yeah, the mediums they felt all right, to be honest, but they got to 80%, and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
bad.
time. That was the lap I'd actually put down as my strategy as well. So I hit 80, just the puncture window, just as I got to lap 11. And then stuck the hards out, and yeah, they were dreadful at the end, especially
Yeah.
that first sector. I'm not sure there was much that I was flat out at.
That was that's the main thing we were watching. The first sector, the time you were losing through there was just incredible. And I think that's where Pepe's gained on you pretty much most of that time.
Yeah.
But with the strategy then, do you think if you went for the 2-stop, you would have had a much bigger chance of taking the win tonight?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Pepe's is in a world of his own tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
the second clearing quali just sums that up. The only competition he was going to get is if someone pulled a strategic masterclass,
Yeah.
which almost worked. But yeah.
Well, going back to qualifying, of course, this is a street track and a pretty damn hard one. How hard would you say it was to actually piece a lap together today?
I only actually did one lap because I missed the line on my final run.
Oh,
'cause
did
I was
you?
letting cars through that was on a lap.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
I had to do it the difficult way and start from 7th. But the first stint, yeah, I was kind of flying through the pack.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad race from you starting from P7. Thanks for joining us, mate, and well done on your result.
I appreciate it.
No worries. Right, Pepe's. Let's have a speak with you, mate. The absolute brilliant drive you did today. P1, give us your thoughts on the race.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy. Finally, my first P1 in this league, so I'm so excited with it. I was practicing before this race like a couple hours, but yeah, found the tempo. Everything went good, so I'm really enjoying it.
I'm glad to hear it. Do you think this is a bit of a turning point for you then here in Extinguished Motorsports? Bit more confidence behind you to maybe pick up some better results?
Yeah, for sure. This is gonna build up my confidence a lot, a lot. Yeah, I was waiting for this win so long time in this season already. 2 times second place, 1 time third. So finally, I get it.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Back to qualifying then. How did you find it with piecing a lap together? Because of course the walls are coming at you so quick, and a lot of corners on this track. Was it a struggle for you, or did you find it a breeze?
No, the first quali lap what I'm making, I was just trying to make sure that I make clean everything, try to get as much as possible to the walls. So yeah, that went. I was really, I don't know how to even say it, stunned when I saw that I make so big gap to the other ones.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
Unfortunately, on
go
the
on.
third stint, yeah, I was trying to go below the 28, but yeah, I missed the 1-4 there. That was on my main goal to get a bit below 128. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe next time.
Well, even then, you still take home the race win. First time in Extinguished. I'm very happy for you, mate. Hopefully the first of many. And good races from both of you. That battle towards the end is brilliant. It was really good.
Yeah, the Speed Freak just get me really sweat that I can get him at the end with last stint. I didn't expect that somebody gonna go on the one-stop strategy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was seeing that in the first sector, yeah, I was much more faster than him. So, but at the end of the straights, he was just getting a little bit of advantage. So
Well,
yeah,
it was brilliant from both of you. I appreciate you both joining. Thanks for your time. And good luck next week, guys.
thank you very much.
No worries. See you later, guys.
See you.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me again. We're done for Extinguished Motorsports. Hope you have a great evening. And the race highlight reel coming your way as soon as I can get round to it. Hopefully tonight, maybe a bit later. We'll find out. Have a good evening and good night.